Yes.
Okay. Getting officially
Hey.
started.
Regarding firewood. Come out anytime.
Oh, okay. Let me take you up on that. It usually goes home about.
Got another. Yeah, you got, she's that good bang in there, man.
Yes,
It's better.
Land chart.
Shark.
Mr. Carpenter. Good evening and welcome.
The November OAS meeting. Slides, do your thing. Do you have any guests in the room this evening? All members. Do we have any guests in Zoom?
Nobody's speaking up.
No. There's one person?
No.
No?
Anybody
Okay.
that's willing to.
Before I continue, I've been asked to say, Austin, check your chat. So, oh, I left an exclamation point in the slide. This means I need to read it. The OAS holiday party is here on Friday, December 6th. In this room, 7 p.m. So,
7 p.m.
yeah, we'll start a little bit early. We've got a lot to do
Yes.
that evening.
Closer for me too.
Yeah. Oh, look. OAS fan shop. Who's got OAS gear? Look at this. I got my shirt on right here. Right? I see a shirt right there. There was a hoodie earlier. Right? Yeah. Cool. I'm sure we had people go to Astro Park in the last month, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. How about online? You can just put a number. I think Cassie's been there. Yeah, there's a thumbs up. 2,
I think Cassie did
3.
twice. Austin.
We'll say 7. Okay. Oh, look, it's the holiday party again. I was gonna use this slide to remind you that there is a RSVP, which is this is.gd/OAS holiday, or you can use your phone and scan that.
Is that gonna be on the Discord?
Yeah, I'll put it on the Discord as well. This is the same URL that I've used the last 3 years. It's the same form. And on Discord, there's also a way to view what people have put in as their side dishes, so we don't get 8 potato salads. Although potato salad is usually out of season for the holidays, so maybe, depends. That's more of a summer thing.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. I just don't eat potato salad.
As many devil's eggs as you want.
That's a lot of deviled eggs. I don't. Well, at least you'll be gone, and that's the next day's issue.
Plenty of Christmas cookies.
So that's true. I will make a note, and I'm gonna keep talking about this part, is we can't leave it here. If it comes in, it has to go. So I know sometimes we just buy something in the store and leave it and it stays, but it's gotta go, so. We have to be kind to our hosts here at UNO.
We gotta pack it in, pack it out.
Yes, leave no trace.
Yes,
There we go.
that's a good one. Leave no trace.
Be a good scout.
Good scouts.
Good Scout. Smokey the Bear, Woodsy Owl, there you go. No, Miss Kelly.
Why we are leaving no trace? Or don't go there.
Because we're not allowed to bring food.
That's correct. Technically, there's no food in the classroom.
You can drink food. It's just that we are contracted through the food services, that if anything is happening, we go through food services. But I know food services pay and charge us a lot, but they're not gonna wanna do a Friday night. So I'm just gonna assume they're gonna say no and let us do our own thing anyway.
Wow, look at all those
Well,
Haiti
that's for
carrying
forgiveness.
bags. Thank you, Krista.
The way around it is we could get our main dish through Gatorade. And then
That's true.
bring or do desserts through catering if we want.
If we just tell them, oh, we've got some people bringing some desserts. We just need a meat dish.
Yeah, then we just, I mean.
We're just getting some pizzas. Oh, are you getting staged? Should I, stretch for time?
Just have work tonight then.
Yes, we have awards tonight. How many people saw the comment in the last couple of weeks? Wow. Everybody, pretty much.
Got to Sonali.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
We saw it.
Saw it last night.
You did?
Yeah, the C-store.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Gonna get pictured, but it went down too fast.
Oh, it might be in the device still.
No, I looked.
Oh, okay. All right, here's the awards.
Thank you, sir. We actually have a family of 3 all receiving outreach awards tonight. Very exciting. So we really appreciate the Sheldon family, everything that they have done for us since they have joined the club. They've been a fantastic addition to OAS. So we greatly appreciate you guys. So we have the awards for all 3 of you. Maybe we'll start with Mark, I guess. Have Mark come up. So we'll maybe do it individually and then we have a picture of all 3 together. So the outreach award, I think all of you are probably aware, but and our outreach season has kind of come to sort of an end, but if you get 10 hours. Oh, well, I guess we'll see.
Outreach is all year.
We'll see. Well, we do have, but like the really busy season is. Here, we'll do our picture real quick.
A new fall lineup every year, like on TV.
Okay, if you wanna do awards, you gotta slide over for the.
Move over a little bit, Kelly.
the Zoom camera. There we go.
Cynthia. Oh, that. Oh, so yeah, it's an investment of a little bit of time, obviously, to help out our outreach folks. Thank you.
Our outreach folks.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Better look at certificate.
Dang.
This way.
Oh, and they do
Yeah.
come with pins too.
Gotta
so I'll
take
give you
a
that
big
too as well.
step toward John.
So yeah, it's an
you're not-
investment of 10 hours. It has to be 5 or 2 hours minimum. So basically 5 events, 10 hours, and you can get your outreach award as well. And Josh, come on, Dan, come on.
Cynthia.
What level are these awards?
Sonali and Austin say congratulations online.
Congratulations. And then if we can
All
try all 3
all
of
three
them
together.
together. Yeah, for all 3 of them together. It's kind of fun. I was saying, I'm not sure.
Is this the picture?
I know. It's a family photo, you guys.
Yes.
This is our Christmas photo, we don't mess with it.
That's great, man. I was thinking. I don't remember a time that we had like a whole family all get awards together, so I think that's kind of cool.
Sing it us.
Very cool. Yeah. You got it. Everything's solid. Very much. Thank you to Cynthia and to Mark and Josh. Very cool. So obviously there is outreach all year round. I mean, we did just get done with a busy season, but there is always outreach all year round. So yeah, 10 hours, 2 hours minimum of an event. And you can also get an award, but there's all kinds of awards that you can get. We were talking about, Cynthia was saying, well, what should I do next? And there's Constellation. I was just looking on here. I'll have to talk to them during the break. There's a Constellation Awards you can get. Really helps you learn your way around the sky. Asterisms. You can do asterisms if you want. And obviously there's some advanced awards too. So there's really something for everybody. Check them out. Thank you, guys.
Well, I'm curious, Kelly, is it all 88 constellations? You can tell me later.
It is not all 88
That would be
codes.
hard up here in the
No, no,
north.
there's northern and southern. They're
Oh,
different.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
all right, thank you. observing chair,
Up
so
to
I gotta.
39 probably.
Do. Let's stretch our limits of technology.
Is she awake?
It's 5:30 in the morning.
I know.
Her, so. Ask her to-
Oh, right, she went over
wants
to
do
India,
it.
Mhm.
Yeah, Lord. India. That's
She's
good.
probably finding a spot where she can talk without waking.
We'll start video later. That's what her reply is.
Hello,
Hello,
Hi,
can you
Sonali.
hear me?
we can hear you.
Hi, Sonali.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. So I should say good morning for myself, but that's all right. I don't know if you can hear me clearly, but here goes. I did this from Mumbai and I didn't have my computer, so it's not, it's just simple presentation. For Omaha, you can still see a lot of planets in the evening, including Venus, Mars, Saturn. Uranus reaches its opposition November 16. So it's really visible as soon as it gets dark. Neptune early evening. There's also Jupiter and Saturn, but those will probably not be all night as the year goes by. New moon it's November 1st and full moon on November 15th. A few things to look out for is the lunar occultation of Antares on the 3rd of November and Saturn on November 10th. And we do have comets. As someone mentioned, they saw their Sushin Shan in their sea star. That's still visible but fading. I have tried from the light polluted skies and polluted skies of Mumbai and was unable to see it. And unfortunately, S1, which was touted to be going to be really bright, has disintegrated. And you can see the video from the Soho website as it approaches the sun there and is disintegrating. Meteor showers the Taurids and the Leonids. And I think that's all I have for this month.
Thank you, Sonali. Technology working great. Appreciate it. Let's see. Outreach. Oh, I didn't change that slide, but I'll fix it in a second. It's right on the sign up sheet, but not on the slide. As you talk, I'll fix it.
I'll talk about this. Santa. SAT. Okay.
Hi.
Like you're giving a speech at it.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for all of your hard work getting through the Pavilion La Vista fun spree there. Excellent job all around, and you, John, can talk about kind of some of the benefit that the club gets from all of that efforts.
Okay, yeah, we had a great fall season. I was looking at, I do keep a little spreadsheet here with, I try to keep track of how many students. Always add a few adults in. I've tried to keep track of all the volunteers. And there was a lot. As Mike said, I truly appreciate all your help with those events, because they do get well, tiring by the end of the season, but we made it through. And one of the benefits, not that we ask, we suggest, but Ann Danner, has been the driving force for how many years? I don't think we even really know, at least 25 years. It encourages each school to give us a donation. And I'm happy to say that we got one school yet, they claim they have a check, we just haven't got it yet. But just the funds from the schools. Well, first of all, we saw at least probably 930 kids out there. And we add in adults and teachers that gets to over 1,000, maybe 1,025 total. Donations from just the schools ended up being about $760. But dear sweet Ann, and we've got to do something for her, and the board will try to decide, we're going to see if we can't get her maybe to the holiday party. Ann Danner, those of you who met her, sweet lady, she gave us $500. And so that, yeah, it was very generous of her. Now this, she claims is her last year. And I think she means it this time. Those of us that have been out there a year and it's, oh, I'm not gonna do this anymore, and then she shows up another year, but she's had like an understudy now for this year that claims this is it. So we'll try to think of some way, maybe we can get her here to the holiday party and really thank her. And also, back to you.
So we got a whole big stack of thank you cards from kids from the different schools. And I'll just leave these on the table, and during the break, if everybody wants to come and see what they had to say about their experiences, you can go through that. Pretty quiet month relative to everything else that we've had.
Right.
But we do have a couple of events next weekend. We have a Gretna Public Library Star Party. That's at the Gretna Crossing Soccer Complex off of 213th and Keeper.
Yeah. Maybe we can do it. I'll try to find a little map and with my, habitual spamming you all with emails, I'll try to find some way.
But yeah, there's just a soccer field complex, and they have a little concession stand hut. We kind of set up by that last time. It's an okay spot. We had a decent number of kids. It was kind of like 70-mile-an-hour winds that day.
That wasn't all that
And
happened.
then the sprinklers came on, so. But they had fun, and it was a good time, and they want us back. And so for that one, for people who saw the award being handed out, that you can get time for an outreach award like that, or you can also, if you already have that one, you could use this time. This would qualify for a library telescope award, which is a separate thing. You have to keep the hours separate on. So that's Tuesday night, or
Friday night.
that's Friday night, 6 to 9, and then the next night, the 9th, we have
The Girls Inc. organization, they contacted me here recently, and we've been working back, trying to figure out a date. So right now, it's gonna be Saturday the 9th at Lake Zarinsky. And I'll follow up with an email on that. It'll be from like 6 to probably 7:30. Won't be that long. What they were asking us, and Mike and I put our heads together, I didn't mention it, they want some specific activities for the girls to, more than just looking for the telescopes, but we'll come up with something. And then, of course, Lake Zarinsky, second Tuesday on the 12th. Potentially something on the 22nd. I need to get John that information with a Cub Scout group. It's Friday the 22nd, so that's it compared to what we've had the last couple of months. Questions?
and we want to just rush to sign up right now.
Yeah,
We can
we can make up the sign-up sheet.
we do have a sign up sheet, not necessarily, I don't know if all of these events are.
The only one
there.
I'll get the.
Yeah, the Cub Scout one we need to add. That's,
I was going to add him now, real time.
Real time.
I want the opportunities for everybody to have it already. So.
Question.
No, technology.
Technology.
The old days of the grease pencil on it.
Yes.
Yes,
I used to write them up on the whiteboard.
On the whiteboard.
Well,
it would be like the first 10 minutes.
So let's
Just
be
write
real,
everything
you use
up.
the chisel.
yeah.
This is sharing clay
The
tablets.
clay tablets, there you go.
We did our constellations with tablets. The big chief kind, not these computer ones.
All right.
Thank you.
Good enough.
I wanna say how much everyone's worked so hard on the outreach. And for Mike and John to do all that coordinating, it does take a lot of time and effort to get the emails out every week and notifications on Discord and just the coordination required is amazing. So I want to say thank you to you both for doing all that as well. And thanks to everybody who also participated in all that. It is a Herculean effort. I know I chose Mondays. I've almost got all the Mondays except one because of work, but thank you for your commitment on doing those as well.
More of a Sisyphean effort,
What's that?
more of a Sisyphean effort, Herculean.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, Sonali, we'll get some, I'll get something on Discord for the. Right now, for that. Or it's on the sign up sheet too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I try to, I'm getting there where I'm putting everything on Discord too. I just, take me a while to get,
I usually, when you post the email, I usually. try and-
either you'll catch it or I'll put it out there.
We get there.
Scope of monocular loan program. What's it just low? Smooth jazz.
Out of the Stella. If you printed out a Stella, you've already got it. in front of you.
For some reason, I'm messing up. Yes, this is another one of those unusual evenings that Estella and what I have on paper here actually agree. So they,
Yay.
big things, 11 by 80 binoculars are back in my inventory. And the Celestron 4SE got checked out for the first time in a good while.
Yeah.
And I have a standing request for one of the 6-inch Dobsonians. Unfortunately, I've been the long pole in this process because I haven't quite nailed down the time with the person that's doing the requesting, so. That's about all the activity in the scope load world this week. Sorry.
Thank you, Stafford. Social chairs. This is the second time you've walked out here tonight.
Is she sporting her pin?
Oh, man.
That's okay. It's not a requirement.
I did put mine on my jacket though. Wait.
So, once a quarter, we get together for membership meetups because we like to have fun. Our next one is November.
November 15th.
Oh, that's the
Friday.
Friday slide.
Oh, did I not get the wrong? Oh, I'm sorry.
November 15th.
Here.
All right,
All right.
I wrote it down as he was telling me, so it is November 15th at 8 o'clock. We are coming up here and having a planetarium show. It's open for the public, so you can get your tickets online. I think there's a link someplace that's gonna be coming up here. It's, like I said, here in this building in the planetarium. November 15th at 8 o'clock. You can get tickets online as recommended, or you can roll the dice and show up the day of and may or may not get in depending on the crowd size, but it's the big astronomy about some of the famous observatories that are around.
When you come in the building, you'll just. Yeah, just park over there and come in the main entrance and it'll be by the spiral staircase and Krista will be there to flag everybody in. It's room 130, I think officially. 135. Okay. And then, if you look in the newsletter, we've got a QR code to help you get your tickets. You can get them in advance. You can also load your tickets into your Apple Wallet or your Google Wallet. So that's pretty cool. You don't have to worry about your tickets once you get them. But yeah, the planetarium's been newly done and it just got finished, I think, in the spring. Some of us got to go see it.
And we were like a bunch of school children oohing and on over everything. It was pretty
So,
awesome.
We're really excited about this one, so look forward to seeing everybody. In the meantime, yeah, do remember, we have our social channel on Discord where you can still, if you wanna meet more often and do more social things, that's what that channel is for, so. Thanks, everybody.
Do they do any outreach after? We get dark when this thing's open?
We can, like, if we wanna go to backlot or
Oh,
something
no,
afterward.
outreach
we-
as in
No.
with the public.
This is in.
That's a good question.
Okay.
Probably not. I mean, we can sit and talk to people about the club afterwards, but it's generally more of like the club people trying to do stuff together. And if the public wants to talk to us, that's fine, but I just don't want to make it an official outreach night. It's like, I'm working on an enjoyable night.
So
No, you're
it
right.
was like when we went bowling and pet golf and stuff, yeah.
Carla, the tickets are $10 each. If you don't have a cell phone, you have a computer, you can use the same thing. We'll try to post it in, I will put the link in, gosh, what's it called? Zoom. Sorry, I'm a little out of it tonight.
Kristen's not here.
You probably.
Krista is
Oh,
running a
okay.
show right now.
Are they
so-
available like at the door?
Yes.
Potentially.
Yeah, tickets are available at the door as well, if they're not filled up, yeah.
Do this.
If one didn't have a cell phone, you could probably call the planetarium ahead of time and purchase
Yeah,
the tickets that
There's
way.
the link in the chat. The Zoom chat. Okay, got it.
Start
Okay,
at 8.
yeah, hope everybody can
It's
make
at
it.
8, so you might want to get here slightly early.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our librarian doing a.
Yeah, thanks, John. Sorry I'm not there tonight. I got a positive COVID result this week, so I didn't want to create a super spreader event.
You're for staying away from us.
Yeah, it's getting around, so everyone keep your hands clean. So, I know the cart is there with our library collection because Mike Robel was asking about checking out books. There usually is just a very informal sheet there with a pen. Now, if it's not there, we're not too worried about it. It's basically the honor system, but we just kind of are trying to keep track of who's got the books, and if we can call you and ask if we're looking for it, that'd be nice. But anyway, we ask, if you check out the books, maybe plan on bringing them back 2 months out, just to give other club members opportunities to do the same and check them out. So I encourage you to go check that out. We've got books ranging from what binoculars to buy and what eyepieces to buy to cosmology mathematics. So something for everybody. We've also had a big influx of books and magazines from George Allen's collection. I guess it was about 2.5, 3 months ago now. I still have a lot of books here at my house and a lot of magazines. So if you are very interested in Sky and Telescope magazines, I forgot the exact dates, but they go back to the 1950s. Please let me know. I was considering maybe with the magazines in particular, trying to get those on eBay or something for getting some money into the club, just so they're not sitting around in my house or in somebody's storage. So I'll keep everyone updated if I make movement on that. And I did want to put forward a motion we've raised some funds from that, from selling some of those books from George Allen's collection. I believe last time I heard from Mike Gallagher that it was about 150, but I assume other people brought in money from during the last meeting. I wasn't there to check, but
Good time.
yeah. So the motion would be to buy some Astro League publications. I had some picked out for different observing programs, including Carpe Lunam, which goes over. I believe there's 3 moon observing programs that book goes over. There's a Messier object beginner guide that I think would be very useful, especially coming up here towards the beginning of the new year into March. And Universe Sampler, one that I use and really enjoyed is actually not a observing manual, but a logbook. So there's a visual astronomical observer's logbook that I use from that. So those are kind of publications that I picked out that might be interesting to the club. I'm asking for a motion to earmark $160 to get those purchased and shipped, so that we can have those available for club members to buy.
So moved.
So okay, first Austin and second the Nina Baker. Austin, could you just say your last name out loud for Diana?
Austin Kutcher. Kuecher.
Thank you. A motion's on the floor to use the funds from George's books to purchase some books from the Astronomical League for the library. All those in favor say aye. Yes, aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Well, that's all I have. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Austin. So our program chair is actually running a program right now. So we're gonna have a video tonight on dark matter to watch.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting. Do we want to do any tool times? We want to talk about the aurora from a couple weeks ago?
John, can I ask a question?
Yes, you may ask a question.
Has anybody been watching Nova recently?
The TV series? No.
Yes, fabulous.
I have recordings of it.
And it's new in today, or this month, this week.
Yep.
That's planetary, I think it's planetary, something, I can't remember.
Yeah, they've all been very good. They're
Yeah.
on
I don't know if there's
PBS,
more. There's one like this,
Nova.
it's worth watching.
On Iowa Public Television, they've been running on Wednesday evenings at 8 o'clock. They've all been spectacular. I don't know how many because we've just been watching them every week.
There's 4 right now, there's a 5th one that did this week. So
Yeah,
I don't
so
know if it's a series.
I don't know. To me, it feels like we've been watching them for 2 months, but we watch Nova all the time. But yes,
I
it's
usually
been
go-
very
go-
good
so
about
that's why I picked
space
up on
and the planets and the solar system and moons and all kinds of things. I'd highly recommend.
So that's
Getting
both
on
on Nebraska Public Television, Iowa Public Television.
It's on both of them.
You can get the PBS app on your streaming device and it'll link up to the state of your choice. And you can watch it through there as well.
And if you get Passport for, I think the minimum donation to PBS for that is $6. And you can get access to past shows and all kinds of things.
$60.
$6 a month. Yeah, $6 a month.
Called Solar System.
Yeah.
Just solar system?
Yeah.
It's like a 3-part series, like one is ice world, one is volcanic world. They talk about some of the moons of some of the other planets, Jupiter's and Saturn's moons. It's pretty fascinating stuff, what they've been figuring out recently.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Did they talk about our second move?
Our second moon? No, they haven't.
Not yet.
It's mini. Now, how many people, show of hands, have had somebody come up to them at an outreach event and said, can you show me that new moon? It's about 60 feet in diameter, right?
It's an
30?
asteroid, right?
Even smaller than I made it bigger than it was.
That's tiny.
Oh, you got the flag on the moon too.
Yeah.
Probably see it.
So I said, unfortunately, I don't have a telescope big enough to show you that.
That's the way to handle
Yes, ma'am.
I just have something, an interesting tidbit about the comet, Susan Atlas, that people may or may not be interested in. I don't know.
Well, of course, we're interested.
Yes.
We're always interested.
Go up to the camera.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Grab the mic.
Front for a minute. So, I think most of you know me, but I'm Allison Bear. And while I live here in Omaha, I work at the Lowell Observatory and I study comets as my thing. Where's the camera? I don't know.
There.
Okay.
You're on
Am I on?
you're on well.
Am I here? Okay. And we've been studying, Susan Atlas as it's been coming through, started observing it, about a year, not quite a year ago, but anyway, last fall. And what I do is the chemistry of comets, the ices. I study the, chemistry of their ices. And if you've seen any of the talks I've given recently, club or at Misrule or outreach events, there's a group of comets that have a very specific, oh, sorry.
That's good.
Okay, chemical composition, that's really distinguished by its, the only comets we've observed that have this specific chemical composition are from the Jupiter family. There are Kuiper belt comets. And Susan Atlas, we've discovered, has this weird chemical signature that before this we've only seen from Kuiper belt comets. Susan Atlas is coming from the Oort cloud, and out of almost 200 comets that we've measured the chemical composition of, only 16 have the signature. 15 of them are Kuiper belt comets, and then this new one is from the Oort cloud. What that means, I don't know. But we just presented this at a meeting a couple weeks ago in Boise for the Division of Planetary Sciences. I'm working on a paper on these comets, and so we'll be pulling that together in the next couple months. But as you're looking at it, now you can say, hey, it's weird. It's really cool, but also it's compositionally and the chemistry of its ices, it's kind of weird. So little interesting tidbit on the science side of that comet.
So real quick, can you explain, so you're seeing it, you're gathering the light through a refractor or reflector?
We use narrowband filters.
Yeah.
And so we look at several carbon chain species, cyanogen, OH, which is from water, and NH from ammonia. That's what I specifically look at. And what we're seeing specifically is these carbon species are really, really low compared to all the other comets we've seen from the Oort cloud.
Okay, so different from if I got into spectroscopy, I would do one of those line splitting things.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, and
Are you
yeah.
flipping filters through?
Yeah, exactly. So we isolate specific emission bands.
Each one individually, just rotate filters.
Exactly, and by using filters instead of a spectrum, the way that works is we can observe them when they're much fainter, because it acts as, it, focuses the light, so we can get them as they're fainter. And so that's the advantage of using the filters over spectra. Anyway, that's what I'd share.
Hey.
Thank you.
So Nolly had a question in the chat.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, it is from the Oort cloud.
Wow.
I saw, there's a channel on YouTube called Curious Droid. And they were talking about the size of the solar system in this video and how much bigger than it actually we would think it would be. And it would almost stretch out to Proxima Centauri. Like the Oort cloud is that big. It's a bit bonkers to try to work that out. So it's possible that other stars have similar clouds and that they might interact as they pass. That's an interesting thought. So just because Jupiter throws things around, now we can have with other things throwing things around. Although they're not strong gravitationally, but other stars would be. It's fascinating.
So what if the other Alpha Centauri, excuse me, if they had Oort cloud too, and the two of them are intermixed, I mean, is that
Same comets flying?
Yeah, we've had at least one comet that we know is interstellar origin in the
Okay.
last, came through in 2019.
I remember that.
Yep.
I remember.
Just based on its trajectory, and it also had a weird chemical signature. Looked normal in a lot of ways, but abnormal in some.
It's fascinating that, you know, spectrum informs so many decisions, even from not decisions, but just ideas and questions, even from exoplanets, that they're actually pulling that information too. That's especially when they're transiting in front of the star and it's going through the atmosphere as it passes in front. That's mind is racing with that idea, so it's good. I think Stafford, you got pictures, right?
I do.
And I had them here somewhere.
Put them in the,
There we go. But to bring the lights down. Well, that's your room. Not the Aurora. Oh, I'm not presenting my screen, am I?
Nope.
See nothing.
Sorry.
see Sonali's pretty picture.
Yeah.
Ooh,
National attention.
Oh, wait, now I can see.
Actually,
this is where I go to sleep. Okay.
Yes.
Alright. Let's get this out of the way.
Dark and. Mumbai.
5:30 in the morning, I would think so.
hang on.
This was kind of I don't know how many of you saw May's Aurora event. You can compare this one to that. It was kind of went in cycles. This trip, and where the one in May sort of gave a good show at the beginning. It started out kind of peaceful.
John, close your chat window.
So it's tomorrow.
Oh, these are taken up at Summit Lake, by the way. I guess I should identify that. I think some of you are familiar with it.
Thank you.
But I waited up there probably for an hour or an hour and a half. It was a bad attempt at being artistic with a photograph of the moon reflecting off. This is just kind of a gradual buildup. Now you started to get into where it was getting more active. Also started to discover at this time that 7 other people knew this site too, so they started showing up. We had a few columns, a little bit more, little structure.
There was a little bit of zoom compression, so apologies for that.
And after a point, you start getting some nice columns like these and the sheets.
That's pretty.
So Stafford, is that the same color you were seeing with your eyes?
I'm sorry.
Is that the same colors you were noticing with your eyes
You could print
come through on the camera?
pictures, you could see the color reasonably well. I was doing better with seeing the red myself,
Yeah, I could see the red from
Reds and greens.
Ron Kennard.
but you would have kind of like a very, very pale green to kind of the, the light white and gray, but the reds really out nicely on, my own site.
Stafford, where'd you say you went? Summit.
Summit Lake near Tacoma, Nebraska, about an hour north. It's about the same distance if you go to like Astro Park to the south. But there's a Nebraska State Park campground there.
So this is kind of it in the peak of activity. And it kind of Have a lot of these nice red columns all there. I was up there anyway.
How late did you stay?
I was up there quite a while.
Hmm.
I believe I was up there 6 hours all said and done. About 3.5 of that was pretty slow. And now it's kind of starting to wind down a little bit again.
Are these all the good photos or these
Beginning
all
of
the
the kind
photos?
of second round, but
Oh.
the second round was not quite as good as the first. I kind of enjoyed seeing these single red columns that were popping up every now and then.
Oop, looks like we started all at the beginning.
That's not part of the Aurora, by the way. So that was it.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we can take a break for 10 minutes.
Did finally.
Okay,
I agreed to loan.
so business meeting
My mom gave me the money. I-
minutes, there were 31 members, 6 guests, approximately 8 members logged in via Zoom. There was around 35 to 40 people at Astro Park in September. That's pretty good.
Wow. Had a big party.
Yes, we did. It was a great party. Here, and we had our elections in October, right? Joe's to begin in spring of 2025.
They're together.
Mentioned the holiday party, board's chair, observing chair, outreach and events. And then there's about some free classes that were mentioned by Mike, who taught those classes, right? Yeah. How'd they do? Did you do well? Did you enjoy it?
I did magnificently. I mean, It was fine. There, not a whole lot of people showed up, but we had fun.
Cool. Field trip to the evening grasslands walk and birding. Sorry, I missed that. Was a good turnout or how'd we do?
There was about, I went to that,
Yeah?
there was about 20 people, that's a nice little one,
Oh, that's pretty good.
saw a lot of birds. Some people saw a lot of birds.
Did anybody happen to go to Platte River State Park about the All About Astronomy? I didn't think so. Library report. And the business meeting, info, balance. Okay. Is there a motion to accept the minutes as published in the Stella?
I motion.
Second. Or all third.
John Johnson, second. And Tom Wilson first. It's Tom, not Tim.
Yeah, farther down the alphabet.
The other direction. Okay. Let's do.
Vote.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm getting tired. Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes as read in the style. All those in favor say aye.
Hey.
Opposed? Thank you. Treasurer's report. You just want to stand up from there?
You can just read that, really.
Oh, okay.
Pretty straightforward.
$389.70 in dues, $30 for the book sales, $160 for outreach programs, income, $30 for Astro Park building rent, $609.70 total income, zero expenditures with an ending balance of 18,723.82. Don't worry, Joe will be in the spring. He can just get used to that slide. Maybe I'll put his face in there. I've had to rethink some of my thoughts on the website for the member schedule, although it does technically work. And if you ask me, I can get you a password to see it. Or if you use a calendaring service where you can subscribe to a calendar like Google Calendar or Apple Calendars, you can have it show up in the list as well. Member events they're not as much in the winter time as in the spring. So. Stafford, do you want to talk about your presentation?
Sure.
Let me find where I put it here. Oh, I did open it.
You'll get a pen in case I have to write something.
Did I pose for that picture?
Well, my hope with this is that it won't be as deathly as death by PowerPoint can sometimes be, but. Hit next slide. It's kind of a rough guide on what I hope this presentation covers. Next. Right now, this is the current state of the cosmic warehouse. It's my son's garage. As you can see, it's sharing some space with a pile of other goodies, which have multiplied quite a bit since I took this over. But there are some things coming up that are probably gonna change our need to store something. My son is trying to start a resin casting business in one of the corners of this garage, which I don't like having your optical equipment. And the latest, greatest thing this week is he's talking about moving to one of the coasts with a significant other, so. Then again, none of this might occur at all, but still, there's some writing on the wall that changes may be coming here. Next slide, please.
Where he had you.
Sorry.
I got you.
Oh, I thought it. We've been kind of talking about this off and on for quite a while now. So I started before the Star Party looking at a couple of facilities that were around and about the area. Here we go. Looking at like the nominal that size of something just for telescopes would be the 10 by 10 by 10 to 15 foot storage size areas. We were talking too about storing some other assets that the club has. And this is kind of an unscientific pool of providers of storage sites, but Bilt's and Dino's are probably the two biggest in town. And Eric Malkin had suggested one that's kind of close to him called Extra Space, which is a near brand new facility, which is kind of appealing, but next one. A little comparison of the costs that both of these places had initially quoted to me. We go further, we'll probably have to re-verify these because everything seems to go up after the 1st of October. And there's some reasonable counterpoint, I think. Two biggies on anything that we get is we'll probably have to provide our own locks and our own insurance. Next one. These are the items that I believe will be going into whatever we decide to do, if we do. And I think this will probably need some further clarification as we move on as well. Next one. This is not the most accurate value right now. What I did to arrive at this value was looked at cloudy nights. And I also did some looking on Astromar when I still had an account there. And all these prices are pretty much based on what people are selling as used equipment. To adjust this to reflect replacement value, which may become an issue with respect to the type of insurance we select. Probably we'll have to use something like Zumel or GSO or Skywatch or any of those manufacturers that now provide the 6 to 10 inch range of scopes in a brand new state. Got a little challenge with Orion and Meade since they sort of don't exist anymore. But a lot of our equipment is Orion and Meade, so that's the best we can do at the moment. And I didn't include any of the pieces and parts that the club might want to store in this facility. And we have some items that are not on the book, so to speak, but have been given to the club as possible loaner units. And cover the last bullet. Next one. As I mentioned earlier, insurance and locks are probably gonna be our biggest short-term issue for getting into a place. But that is once we agree on actually doing this, if we do. I think the big long-term project is the recurring monthly cost, because this is gonna be ranging anywhere from about $1,100 to $1,600, depending on what facility we choose and how much we're willing to, whether we want to be on a first or second floor storage space.
Are these climate controlled?
What's that?
Are these, it's over here. Climate control. Are these climate controlled?
Not really.
That's,
I say not really because one place that I did ask about a question about the temperature, they say since everything faces inside, they reliably stay 50 degrees plus in the winter. Milts, I would not really say there's too much control there. They're basically like the line of garages all on one floor. Dino's, the person I was talking to at the time, was uncertain about a lot of questions I asked, so I don't think they could address that. So.
You said 1,100, is that a yearly or a monthly?
1,100 is the annual. If you want to,
Okay.
I want to go back to that slide that I had with the breakdown on it.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
the low ball is upper floor at Dino's, $80. They say 89, I use $90. That's kind of, and then the high one is Milt Storage. I rounded out up to 130 a month. Not accurate, but I wanted to be a little bit more worst case than not, because the prices are gonna go up at some point anyway.
Well, that price does not include the insurance.
no, that's just the rental.
That doesn't include the insurance.
No, it does not include insurance. But why I've got to be a little bit more specific on the value of the stuff that we have.
So the club does not have property insurance?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that I'm.
Not at this time.
But that's one of the questions I wanted to bring up here is if we investigate the insurance that we have, could we possibly talk a property insurance provider on that? I don't know.
We have no insurance for Astro Park?
Yeah,
We have insurance for
life
Astro Park,
insurance.
but we have no property.
Property.
Yeah, those buildings aren't owned by us.
Well, the buildings are owned by us. We lease them out.
Yeah.
Yes. No, actually, my understanding is they're owned,
They lease the land they sit on.
they lease the land they sit on, the buildings themselves.
Those that have abandoned their buildings, the OAS is
Yes,
acquired.
acquired, yeah, those are ours.
Yeah.
And one building is rented. Currently. No, they're
Two were leased.
leased.
But anyway, the insurance that these folks talked to me
Three,
about.
sorry, Tom.
Based on the value of our our stuff. You can go anywhere from
Mhm.
2,000 to, 20 to 30,000. After that, they say it's special case.
Right,
But we don't have that much anyway, so.
I know that, when we moved from one house to another, we had storage for about 2 years. I think it was 40 some bucks a month. Was it? 80 or 90? But it was climate controlled. But it was 10 years ago.
Many years ago, there was.
Yeah.
Do you figure that we need climate control for Astro Gear? I have a big shed that I would not even dare to put it rains inside of that shed.
Oh, that kind of,
Rain is.
no, these would be dry.
No. If the roof is metal, it will rain inside of your shed because even though it's low humidity,
It's condensation. will happen.
condensation.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, never
If there's
considered that.
electronics, you need to have it.
Probably
So
worth
you
it to have
definitely-
climate.
Now, if the 50 degrees is true.
Yeah.
And it's not guaranteeing it, but we could leave a meter in there and gamble the first year.
Mhm.
Well, that's one of the ones where it's like a big building where it's.
Yeah, you're inside the building, correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Humidity.
If it definitely doesn't get down into the 40s or less. So the other thing is you're talking multiple stories. Do you want anything above the first floor? Or are there elevators in these places?
Yeah, there'd have to be elevators.
Stafford or
Yes, there
are
are,
there elevators?
There are elevators in the
Okay.
multi-story unit, at
Okay.
least the ones that I looked at.
And if we're gonna trust that the inside of the building is warm enough, I would not take the top floor. There was a top floor
yeah.
one here somewhere. Because you're gonna be exposed, the whole roof's gonna be exposed.
I will say with reasonable assurance that Mills is not going to be very well climate controlled.
No.
They're not.
Extra space, probably your better bet, because all doors face inward, and when you get it. Go into this particular one, you have to go into a big central area.
Yeah.
And everything kind of smokes out from that point.
Most unheated basements stay about 50 degrees a year
If we're underground.
if underground.
And Dino's is kind of a mixed bag, because I think they have some of their own newly built facilities, and then an example at 35th and Farnham roughly. It's a converted old building.
Yeah. 72nd and Blonde or Maple is a new one.
There's one down in. Okay, wanna go to the last slide?
Like 5 or 6.
Yeah, they got. Some approaches if. Something of a storage area isn't available. We can kind of keep going with the current method while I'm still doing it anyway, because. Until somebody tells me otherwise, we still do have the access to the garage. Only problem is it's getting more stuffed with goodies and I can't build the garage any better or bigger rather. And, we obviously were discussing the storage facility. It would be completely our space, kind of like the garage is. And it does give us the opportunity to put some club resources into it. But you do have an issue of recurring costs, which they're kind of getting up there. We've never had a budget item that large as a recurring annual expense. And then maybe somebody will come up and say that they have 10,000 square feet of storage space and the walls are crying out to them that they're just craving 17 telescopes to be in one corner and we can do stuff into there at no cost, but that remains to be seen, so that's the state of what I've gotten so far with the possible storage space. I don't think we're ready to make a decision right at this moment, but there's some things here for us to think about and some costs to consider.
Why are we not ready to make a decision?
What's that?
Why are we not ready to make a decision?
The board
I
is
would
still.
think you want to discuss $1,100 to $1,600 a year. I
So
think
when
we
you,
need
when
to
you,
agree on.
what I'm saying is, when you propose. When I come across, sometimes I've come across mean, and I apologize, I don't mean it that way. We had a discussion 3 months ago or so,
Mhm.
right? We have prices now that fill in that gap. We don't have a very specific price, which is fine. Why can we not make a decision to say that we're going to spend $100-ish a month? And with the proposal to find a place, and then next meeting, or when it's convenient, you're doing the legwork, come back and say, here's a place, it will cost exactly this much, it's interior, it's Dino's, it's first floor, whatever, and move forward with it.
There's also the bottom line of this slide.
Sorry.
Someone else offers storage space. There's something. There could be something in the background that hasn't been.
Well, I think in January, we usually talk about budget as well, and that would be the time to make it a line item for storage.
Okay.
And put money, apply money to it at that time with the group's decision.
We should also get a specific figure for what it will cost to insure, say, $6,000 worth of property on a yearly basis, which we could get by contacting our insurance company.
Yeah.
So we have that figure as well, because it's the storage cost plus the insurance that we'll need.
Well, and with or without moving into a facility, those telescopes should be insured.
Yeah.
A fire, a theft from your son's garage is no different than a theft from Dino's. Right?
This thought has crossed my mind over the past couple of years especially,
Mhm.
because if his resin business all of a sudden catches fire, everything else that's in there is too.
Yeah.
Is as well as ours.
So hopefully the only use of the torch is to get the air bubbles out of the resin, but.
Still could happen.
Well, but it is a.
Krista had a
it's
comment.
Hazard or condition, so. I
Yes,
have to bring it
Krista.
I
up.
was actually just gonna make a motion to table till January's budget meeting. As far as a final decision, that gives the members a.
Yeah, that's what we-
The
This
board
is the first
meanwhile will
proposal, as far as I know, this is the first proposal with actual locations and numbers coming at us. I know it's been in the exec group a while and we've been talking about, yes, we wanna do this. But now we can all go out and scope those three, maybe even look for a fourth or find your fourth option and come back in January to make a final decision.
Second.
Add a line item at that time
Yeah,
for the
and we need
budget.
line item at that time.
Hold it, before you vote.
Insurance.
Sam.
So
So, SOW.
can you add the additional expense line, i.e. shelves, and you're gonna need $500 worth of shelving or whatever you might. Unless you're planning on going into setting it all on the floor. So there, the additional expenses that you might think of in that.
Probably added in the January.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The
Yes.
presentation in January to the board as a budget item plus expenses. You know, there should be an estimate that you need 5 shelves at $100 a piece or whatever.
We'll just submit it as a line item. There's a number of things that get proposed at that time.
Yeah.
And they're usually in the form of a spreadsheet, so. And then the other thing, if somebody has some knowledge, could we see if this possibly could be possibly put on our existing insurance as a property coverage kind of thing? I don't know that myself, so that's why I think.
I would suggest we punt that to somebody knowledgeable in the insurance industry like Eric.
There you go.
But I don't know who does the insurance for the club now, so that would be.
Well, Mike can just
It's
check
paid
the
by
insurance
Mike
on a writer.
every year.
All it has to be, but they're not cheap.
It shouldn't be that
I have to
expensive.
refine some values too.
Well, we currently pay around 320. 320,
That sounds right.
320, Mike?
We had to have a jump when we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to raise it for.
Policy.
Huh?
That's for a, multi-million-dollar liability policy.
Right.
Yeah,
Replacement's gonna be more,
that's how much we pay a year.
but this would be different as far as how to charge you.
Yeah.
Because
Now-
some storage area somewhere.
I will tease. Sorry. I know we get a lot of new scopes in. I've got one, I don't know how many Mike has, John probably has some that have been donated to us. We may need to call some out, so we don't have as many. To reduce the size of things. The outreach banners are normally stuck with outreach people anyways. For the most part.
Yeah, I have both tags in my garage.
So you don't necessarily have to call for insurance.
No,
They
but
will
we
just,
have a lot.
they will give you a maximum if you say, I've got $5,500 worth of scopes and you really have 7,000.
If we rent
They will-
something, we have to have insurance. That's a no BS issue.
No, I'm talking the property insurance. If you have $7,000 worth of scopes
Mhm.
and they all get stolen, but you've only insured for 5,500,
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
insurance company will give you 5,500 minus your deductible.
Mhm.
Right? So you don't have to call the scopes, but it may be a good thing anyway. You don't necessarily have to call them, that's what I'm saying. No.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to, but.
Well, that would give,
Insurance is to cover as much of a loss as you can, so.
yeah.
But you're
But are they
gonna throw
really
the scope,
losses?
you're gonna throw the
Like
scope
some
away,
of it?
so.
That's a
whether it's
Or
insured.
this, all it says, use it as door prize.
If we were
Yeah.
underinsured, that's just it. We'd look at which ones haven't been going out very often and say, we just won't replace those. We'll replace the ones that people are actually using. Yeah.
With the money, with the
The
money.
money you got back. It's just important we have something that's a reasonable amount, 5,000, 6,000.
The last time we discussed purchasing a telescope, somebody actually donated one, which took its place, so we didn't have to do that expenditure.
Mhm. So most of the ones in our group are kind of donated.
Yeah. Some go way back, which probably weren't donated, was the 13-inch. Which I used as a kid. So. It's just in a different form now. There is a motion table until January. The board has a discussion going on currently. On the back channels. So a motion has been made to table until January. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You. Thank you, Stafford, for putting the slides together and your research.
Thank you, Stafford.
Thank you, Stafford. Yes. Yeah.
For what it's worth, I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
we're getting to the
Put
point
a
we need a
a
storage
blurb
place.
in the Stella with that offer of, hey, does anybody want to loan us, 10 by 20 foot of storage or 10 by 15 foot storage indefinitely? Because maybe not everybody knows that offer is there yet.
That's true.
Most people's storage isn't gonna be well protected. I got a garage in my backyard, they call it a shed, but it doesn't have any electricity or nothing. So it isn't. Nothing.
If you were to clean it, you'd
Other than a lawnmower. There are. I know of a building downtown that has rooms that you can't use in an office because it's an odd shape. That kind of a thing,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Who knows?
I think the climate
Right.
controlled issue is gonna be more of a problem going forward as more of these telescopes come out with electronics and batteries.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, the other item was, our wonderful Astro Park projects. So we updated folks that there was more, activity on the fence. There's no fence lines up. But, it is there, it has worked so far, even without the fence line. We actually got to see the combines go around the fence.
It's just its room.
And then, all of our equipment was covered with a fine layer of dust,
A lot of dust.
a lot of dust. My car looked pretty wild on the inside when I got home.
Some of us were blowing dust on our nose for weeks, it felt like.
Yes. That was something else. So, for new business. We want to talk about, The holiday party. Generally, we get a main dish for the party. We kind of splurged a little bit between 21 and 22. 23, we just went back to the main dish or entree, and then everybody bought sides. I was hoping to do that the same thing this year. Should we ask the UNO people for that? To be kind? No?
Maybe
All right.
open a bag of worms there.
Yes, Bill?
Figure out the price.
With NSP, the concessionaire out there has the right of first refusal on something like that, so it might be a good idea to ask them, because, again, it's a Friday night. There's a really good chance they're gonna say, no. We're not gonna cater that.
Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah. Should we even ask them? Would that be a better
It's
choice?
not catered, right? We're just bringing in some food, a bunch of friends
Yeah.
getting together, having some snacks.
At the university, right.
I'm downloading
I mean,
ideas.
There's some, it's kind of an à la carte thing, so there's some really good stuff. And then there's some stuff that, I could really never have again.
I did not get a chance to grab any of the snacks from the STEM Trail Center opening. Is that what you
I
mean about?
did.
Your choice?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so when we went for that opening for the Ruskin Hall, the food was actually pretty good depending on what you ate, so what there was. And I think since we are recording all these meetings and talking about food, we can't say, that's my opinion, you can't say, well, we can say, oh, we afterwards, after the fact. And like Bill pointed out, a lot of clauses like that have a first right of refusal in their contract.
True. I should probably be posting these videos online because I haven't.
That's because I need the link again.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Right.
No, but that's what my whole point was. If we are posting this online.
We haven't yet for a long time.
Yeah. No one's been asking, so I guess we're okay.
I mean, if you want, you can go into UNO Cater AX.com and you can look at prices and pull things up, I think.
AX.com?
No, I went to UNO Catering and they sent me to a external site, CATERTRAX.com. So UNO, UN Omaha dot.
Ooh.
That's my fault.
It's
I
not,
always forget the Omaha part.
You're in Omaha. Cater.
Cater, yep.
TRAX. Cater tracks.
Something like that, to get started.
Probably same people at Mahoney.
Could be. You put a dot after you in Omaha.
You could just go.
There you go.
No catering.
Pictures look good.
Okay, exactly.
Have an online order platform.
That's what I'm saying. even
If you
that
wanna know what's
looks
good and what you should get, you talk to them directly.
Is it this thing?
But yeah, that's what I got.
Okay.
Retards. That's it.
So they've got seasonal appetizers. If we just wanted to do like appetizers, so deviled eggs, $18 per dozen.
How much?
Yeah,
It's not cheap.
it's not cheap.
And I'll need at least a dozen and a half.
That's only half.
Yeah, it's only half.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Take us out?
put them all in pizza boxes and bring it in.
He's not worried about it.
Technically, you can't do hey, when we put in for pizza, guess who we got pizza from? Domino's. So they'll third party it and take a cut too.
Okay, well,
So,
what we've, let's say, before pandemic, Trying to remember that first year. When Bill was president,
Yep.
afterwards, we would usually get like Raising Cane's chicken.
Right, right.
Right?
Or Hy-Vee.
Hy-Vee.
Chicken fingers, yeah.
I think the Hy-Vee option's pretty easy because we can do grilled chicken, that way,
Yeah.
no breading, minimal issues with allergens for folks.
Yeah, we need a vegetarian option.
In vegetarian, yes. So. Yes. It's not really a motion, but we just sort of talking about what we should do. Cause it's the next meeting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's sort of, that's true. Is there any other, does that sound fine? Ivy?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Any other new business items?
Yeah, Austin asked for, we didn't approve the money he asked for, did we?
Yeah, we did that.
We did, we voted.
Yeah.
We did it out of band. So
You got it, Mike.
we're covered.
I
Any other,
right here, don't remember.
you voted. Did you remember
Did I?
your vote?
Did I?
I want you to raise your hand.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad, right here.
Last month.
What?
The one, no, the one he asked for.
An hour ago.
Right after he asked for it.
See,
That's why I-
this table is in a cul-de-sac.
Library report.
I thought you.
You did it during the library report. Okay. I know how you feel, believe me.
You wake up.
So no other new business? Bill says a motion to close.
Second.
Second.
Please, seconds.
Slow.
Wasn't quite fast enough.
The motion has been made and seconded to adjourn the business meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Thank you. Don't forget, big astronomy stuff. For the planetarium, for the outreach, social inreach. Stuff.
Anybody? else?
Backlot tap outs for
Yeah.
anybody that's interested in that sort of thing?
Absolutely.
I am going to pass tonight. I am.
Sam.
I am not going fast. I'm going to go. There's too many other things, not this and that one.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Sonali.
Right, it's been too long.
No,
Oh, really?
they did.